Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome to our weekly Lunch and Learn. I am here for you every single week to bring you topics to explore and elevate your mindset so you can be at your best and radically expand your life and business. And I am Larissa McCoo, CEO of Abundance Academy. And today I am talking about what you must do. One simple thing you must do to rock your 2022. So we are officially in the second week of the new year. And some people have taken this new year head on and created some brilliant opportunities for themselves. And if that's you, I am so incredibly proud of you. Now, I know on that flip side of things, others have blinked and wondered where the past couple of weeks have gone. And I suspect for most of us, it's somewhere in between. So, what I want you to do is realize that where you are today is not where you'll be tomorrow. And if the direction you're headed is actually working for you, keep the momentum going. Just keep going, because you will be further ahead. However, if you'd like it to be different, if you'd like it to be better, more rich, more juicy, you can say stop right now. And you can hit that reset button anytime. And the decision is ultimately yours. And it's the decisions that you make that will shape your destiny. And these can be so simple. So that's what I'm going to show you today is something simple you can do to radically expand and rock your 2022, whatever part of this continuum you're on. So what I'd love for you to do is tell me where you're coming in from. And if you're tuning in by replay, type in replay in the chat. If it's your first time here, type in first time in the chat. And if you're live, type in live in the chat. So we want to welcome you. My team and I here want to welcome you, whether you're here live or whether you're coming in afterwards. Okay. So one of the things we're talking about, there's something really simple. If you have a notepad and pen and paper, I want you to write this down. It's this idea of feeling being the secret. Feeling is the secret. And that might seem like a really simple thing. However, I remember when I first heard of this concept, okay? It's actually the title of a book by Neville Goddard, Feeling is the Secret. And I remember thinking, it's like, well, I don't really know how to feel. I don't know what that means. And so I knew when I passed, I used to know how to feel really bad about things. I used to know how to react when things go wrong. I was very good at that. I was really good at painting these dramatic pictures and creating dramatic movies in my life at that point. And when I'd get into conflicting situations, I'd feel really angry or really upset. Or when someone did something to me or around me, I would get into this reactive mode and really put up my guard, almost like I was ready to fight. And I was really quite familiar with a lot of negative emotions and a lot of negative feelings. And I remember I would journal. My first journals were all about me pouring my heart out about how bad I felt. And I even remember consciously trying to talk more about that and creating these weird stories to feel even worse. Because I'm like, well, if I feel worse, maybe I'll get some attention. If I feel worse, maybe I'll, find some benefit in it. I wasn't really sure, but I was looking for something and I didn't have another strategy. And so this idea of feeling being the secret with Neville Goddard, right? I read this book. Why am I sharing it with you? Because when I was taught that the secret to long-lasting happiness, the secret to really making a beautiful life is tuning into the feelings you have, I didn't know how to do that. I'm like, well, how do I get emotionally involved? Right? People are like, get emotionally involved with your goal. Well, I was working in a higher growth industry and I was told to get emotionally involved. Well, I didn't know what that meant. And so last week we talked about living your life by design instead of by default, and that success isn't a coincidence. And it really is like that. Back then, I was living life by default because I didn't know better. However, the more tools and strategies I added to my toolbox, the more that was able to change. And so I was able to start literally learning how to feel good things. And And this is a basic of life. Last week we talked about the basics. It's the basics that you repeat over and over and over that are going to get you further ahead. And why is this important? Well, do you want to live a beautiful life? Do you want to have a life that you look back on and you're so proud of? You had great moments, you had so much laughter, you had so much joy with the people in your life. And you can see that the things you did were all meant to happen. You can see that life is a series of circumstances that has happened for you, not to you. And when you can step into an energy where no matter what happens to you, you start appreciating the good things in life, that is truly, truly magical. Okay, you want to really look at life through rose-colored glasses instead of the opposite. Because if every time you look at your life, you notice what's going wrong, if every time you look at your life, it's almost like someone's out to get you or something is there to pull you back. That's not a beautiful life. And the fact is, you could either be in a beautiful state or a suffering state. The choice is yours. Now, when you're in a beautiful state, you're feeling good things, you're doing good things, you're living in this amazing way. And more often than not, things are really, really good. On the flip side, when you're in that suffering state, you're really in touch with those negative emotions. And I've been through both. I've been through both. And I have to say that it took a lot to condition myself to get out of those negative emotions. However, when I get into those positive emotions, it's so much easier. And when I started practicing it, the more and more I practiced, the better and better it got. And it's so much faster to not be at what we call be at effect, where everyone and everything is out to get you. So here's what you need to know. Yeah, and I want you guys to know, like, if you can relate to any of this, let me know. And if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. So I want to just circle back because I don't think we're born with this idea of feeling bad about ourselves or always looking at the bad side of things. I think this is something that's conditioned into us. I think it's a learned behavior because when you look at kids, they cry in order to communicate to get what they want, but the crying is just a form of communication. And as kids get into this genius zone before the age of 7, where their creative mind is so rich, they have fun, they can laugh at anything, and life really truly is beautiful. You start to see things, you start to experience things that are beautiful and completely joyful, and we actually get conditioned out of that. Now, prior to the age of 7, our mind, our neurology, our world is completely open. We have a conscious mind and we have an unconscious mind, and we actually have a filter between the two. But prior to the age of 7, we don't actually have that filter. It doesn't exist. And so after the age of 7, when things are conditioned out of us and when we get this filter, we can start critically assessing, we can start critically thinking, we can really start using our head. And in some ways, this is very necessary, and this does serve us. This is what helps us create lists. This is what helps us get into logic. This is what helps us steer the ship and really be effective. However, that's not the thing that brings you joy. That's not the thing that gets you to laugh at yourself, that gets you to just think of an experience and just feel like, wow, that just feels so good. I just want to go and do more of that. I want to be there more and more of the time. And so that's the unconscious. The unconscious is our intuitive self. It's that the part of that is the sixth sense. It's the sense of doing, or it's the sense of being. It's what allows us to receive and to accept and to feel. And through our neurology, science has shown that the unconscious mind is actually embedded in every single cell of the body. And when you're a kid, you can instantly flip your mood. You can go from really angry to really happy without a shadow of a doubt. You're not thinking or analyzing about all the steps in between. Yet when you're an adult, sometimes if you're not in a good mood, it might take a lot longer to get to that state of happiness and pure bliss. Society really does train and condition us to use that conscious mind, and it's only responsible for 4% of our results versus the unconscious, which is responsible for 96. Now, feeling is a secret because feeling is that unconscious mind. It's in every cell of the body. And when you feel pure bliss, think of a beautiful experience you had with one of your closest friends. Think of a beautiful, romantic, erotic experience you've had that just lit the fire up inside you. If you think of that experience and really feel it, you're like, whoa, you're starting to tune into those emotions. You start to remember what that was like. Maybe think of a really fun experience you had where you had more fun than anything in any other time in the whole wide world. I remember I the first time I went, what was it? Zip lining. I think it's zip lining. And I was really nervous going up there because I was thinking about all these things that could go wrong. And I'm looking down going, wow, this is high. However, when I got into the zip line, all I could think about was the freedom as I was going down. And it was just this fun, freeing, blissful experience. And even in thinking of those emotions, as you're thinking about the emotions you felt during these times and the experiences you've had, you're going to notice different things feel differently in your body. Okay. So the feeling of fear feels different to you. There's actually physical signs and physical things you experience that those are your signs of fear. So how you physically experience fear is going to be different to someone else. How you physically experience joy or bliss or excitement is going to be different to someone else. How you experience confidence, how you experience fun is going to be different to everyone else. And there's no right way or wrong way. But when you start learning what the good feelings in your life feel like, that is such a powerful, powerful thing. Now, Albert Einstein said, everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Match the frequency of that which you desire, and you can't help but get it. This is not philosophy. This is physics. And if you think of the feelings I've been talking about, these all have a vibrational frequency, right? And that vibrational frequency is expressed in a physical way in your body. Okay. So yeah, kids really are great at being present. Absolutely. The emotions you feel, they are expressed in a physical way in your body. And so when you experience the emotions that you want more of the time, when you experience emotions that feel good to you more of the time, when you allow yourself to step into the feeling of yourself with your goal achieved. Like, how will you actually feel when you achieve a certain goal, when you achieve a certain outcome? How will you feel when you've successfully accomplished something that you might not know how to do? What is that going to feel like? And how can you step into that feeling right now? Because the fact is, if you can identify what a feeling might feel like, you've actually felt that feeling before. And your unconscious mind, right, what's in every cell of your body, can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. And so when you identify how you'll feel in a certain situation or how you would like to feel, and you go back and borrow a memory, your unconscious mind can't tell the difference. And so you want to start borrowing memories from the past and stepping into beautiful future memories and feeling those emotions right now. And if there is anything you could do more and more and more of the time, one thing that you could do all year long, it is start to feel good more of the time. Tune into the feelings of that which you desire. Experience the feelings of that which you desire. Live the feelings of that which you desire more and more of the time. And I promise only good things can happen. Now, when you align your vibration with what you desire, you're going to literally attract what you want. So you've probably got a cell phone, right? You've got a phone. And if you have a phone, then there is a frequency that is sent out into the universe, into the ether, if you dial someone's number. And when you dial that number, their phone will ring or their phone will receive a text because you're on that same frequency. It's the exact same thing with your feelings. When you put out a feeling, the universe is going to give you more of that feeling and align you, right, with what you're looking for to help bring that feeling to you more of the time. And it's your job because you're not 4 years old anymore. And if you are, I hope you're having a beautiful day. But it's your job to get into that childlike curiosity, step into life with wonder. Step into life with so much more ease that you can change where you're at in an instant. You can change your feelings in an instant and step into the vibrational frequency of what you desire. Step into the emotion of what you desire. Would you rather live your life in anger, fear, hurt, guilt, rage, shame, sadness? Or would you rather live your life with love, joy, fulfillment, excitement, enthusiasm, bliss, confidence? What would feel better to you? And really think about this. And I'm not saying what would feel more familiar to you. Not what would feel more familiar. Sometimes we're actually afraid of stepping into these good things because we're so familiar with what the past is. And we'll actually keep ourselves where we are because that comfortably uncomfortable zone is what we know. And it's actually a little intimidating to change that. So, what would feel better to you? Be open to doing that. Now, one of the things, like, we get caught up in our everyday world, and I mean, I'm a fairly big doing person. I like to do, and this is part of my nature. I love to-do lists. I love checking things off my list. I love taking massive action. And I suspect if you're a high achiever, there is certainly an element of you that loves doing. And doing is so, so, so important to achieve success. However, if you get into doing mode, and you have a list, you have an action, you have a list, and then you do something about it. You check something else off your list and you go do something about it. You're going to be in this action mode. And when something comes up that throws you off course, your mind is going to instantly start spinning. And you're going to look for, ways to fix it, ways to make it better. You're going to also start taking on the story of what's going on. You might start to feel bad about or frustrated about whatever issue is at hand. And if you start taking on those feelings of frustration, those feelings of anger, those feelings of resentment, you're going to get to a stuck result or a mediocre result. And that's one big danger in terms of doing. And when you start embracing this idea of feeling, you can still be a high achiever and a doer. However, when you really, before you start getting into doing mode, if you set an intention or desire, it could take like 3 seconds, and you really step into it with the feeling of that intention or desire, or a good feeling, and you step into it really at an elevated level, you're going to do things more purposefully. And that intention is going to lead to a better feeling, and it's going to lead to a good result. Now, you set your intention, you notice the good feelings you want, and you get a good result. Set an intention, notice the good feelings you want, you go do your thing, you get a good result. And it's a good cycle that repeats itself. But life happens. And sometimes life circumstances will come up, even to good people. And if bad things happen, if you're in that mode of setting a good intention, it's like, oh, well, this is interesting. Instead of looking at it as something that's happening to you, you're looking at it as something that's happening for you. It's an opportunity. So you set an intention to, learn something from this experience, or you set an intention to use this opportunity to create a beautiful solution that's even better than what you have before. You're looking at it with a really good attitude, a totally different attitude than just do, right? With your blinders on. And you step into the feeling of solution mode. You are willing to try things, whether they work or not, and you keep pursuing them with this good spirit until they actually work, and they work beautifully. And ultimately, you're going to get a better result because you set a good intention, you stepped into a good feeling, you were in that solution mode, and you got a better result. So all that to say, feeling is the secret. Feeling creates the vibration, and you've got to attract what you want through setting that vibrational frequency, right? When you are in a feeling, you are vibrating that feeling, and people feel it. Like, people know when you're pissed off. People know when you're in a good mood. People know when you're irritated or distracted. And people know when you are just so turned on, so confident, so powerful, more powerful than you've ever felt before. And so you want to step into your doing, your world, your dreaming by really tuning in to the feelings that you've got. Okay. And feeling is the secret, but feeling is also a habit. Feeling good is a habit. Feeling bad is a habit. And if you've been used to feeling good, stay there. If you've been used to feeling bad, I want you to shift yourself to feeling good more and more of the time. And the fact is, you can make a decision to change. Maybe you won't go from really angry to really ecstatic, but you can go from angry to accepting. You can go from angry to curious. You can go from angry to interested, and then gradually work your way up the scale of vibrational frequency or of good emotions. So wherever you are right now, whatever your circumstances, I want you to identify the feeling. And if you're watching this live, pop it in the chat. Even if you're watching it by replay, pop the current feeling you have in the chat. Ooh, I decide to be amused. Okay, I like the decide. Decide is so good because you've made a decision to be amused, and decisions are definite. That's amazing. Okay. So what feelings are you currently experiencing? And what would be a slightly better feeling or even a better feeling that you would like to get into? Okay, so where are you now? Where would you like to go? What's a better feeling thought? What's a better feeling energy? What's something that's going to move you in the direction of a beautiful day, a beautiful life, and you achieving your goal with excellence? Yeah, feeling lethargy. And right now, I think this is huge because so many people are feeling lethargic. So many people are so tired. There is this tired energy going on in the world. And don't feel bad about it because this is like it's almost like a pandemic in and of itself, this feeling of lethargy in the world. But what would be better than feeling lethargic? What would be one step up to that vibrational frequency? Okay, inspired. And so this is your job. Feeling is the secret. If all you do is start feeling a little bit better than you are, or identify the feeling you have right now and be like, is this serving me? Not so much. What would feel better? What would be better? What would help me have a beautiful moment? What would help me have a beautiful hour? What would help me have a beautiful day? And when you start stringing those beautiful moments, those beautiful hours, those beautiful days, those beautiful weeks, those beautiful years together, you're going to have a beautiful life. And only good things can happen. And if you want to rock your 22 and achieve really amazing results, you've got to tune into your emotions. Feeling is the secret, and feeling good is the secret. This is going to be the most powerful determinant of your success. This is one thing you must do to rock your 22. Whether you're doing something you like, whether you're doing something you don't like, you can still feel good. And align that feeling with what you want to attract. Really look at the feelings of what you want to attract, how you would feel when you were at the end game, and start aligning yourself, aligning your life, aligning your world with that. And you want to make it a habit. I think this has been so, so powerful. Okay. Good things are happening to you and for you. Good. They absolutely are. So ultimately, you've got to make a decision. Do you want to decide to feel good, or do you want to decide the opposite? Because indecision is also a decision, and you can change, make a decision in a heartbeat. Just say, I've decided to feel better more of the time. I've decided to have a beautiful day. I've decided to be in a beautiful spirit. I've decided to tune into my emotions. I've decided to feel good. I've decided that feeling is the secret, and I'm going to tune into good feelings so I have good days. I've decided that I'm going to really start to memorize the feeling of myself with my goal achieved and go there and visit it often. I've decided that I am going to be amazing. I've decided I'm going to have a beautiful 2022, and I was put on this earth to do magical and wonderful things. And I know you were. You are here to radically expand your life, and there is nothing I want more than for you to go for it. I want you to radically expand your life this year. 2022 is positioned to be a freaking amazing year. And when you start tuning into all the abundance around you, all the beautiful opportunities around you, learning what those feelings feel like, memorizing them, you will start to unleash your greatness and let yourself shine so, so incredibly bright. Now, one tool that I use, this is a daily success habit tracker. And if you're interested, I've got, it's a checklist, right? What gets measured gets done. And this is one way I hold myself accountable, because it's like, if I don't check in with myself, am I even tuning into the feelings I have? Am I tuning into the things that are truly most important to me? Then I am not going to do them, right? It's not until they're habitual, I'm not going to do them. And so I track my dedication to this. I track whether I did my best to have a good day, whether I really truly did my best to tune into the feeling of it, to tune into my goal with emotional intensity. So if you want access to my daily success habit tracker, I want you to send me a private message or email Larissa at myabundanceacademy.ca. So Larissa, Larissa at myabundanceacademy.ca. So if you want access to that, I am happy to gift it to you. Just shoot me an email or send me a private message, and I will make sure to send you my tracker that I use each and every day to hold me accountable to living in a beautiful state and achieving so many other goals and dreams that I've got. So if that's a resource to you, that is amazing, because truly this has been a godsend in my world. And we have another Unstoppable You event coming up very, very soon. There will be a registration page out by next week. So if you're also interested in attending, you can send us a message and we'll make sure to get that registration link to you. It is going to be absolutely free. It's another 5-day event. It's our first event of the year happening in February. So stay tuned, because we are going to bring this incredible event back and rock your world. And we are going to show you how you can rock your world as well. So with that, thank you for joining me. I'd love to hear a takeaway that you've had from something that we talked about today. So pop that in the chat, whether you're here live or whether you're here by replay. What is something that you took away from today? You could be here in theory and just be like, oh yeah, I'm just listening to this mindlessly, or you can be fully involved and fully invested. When you're fully invested, you take something away and you go do something with it. So what is your takeaway from today? I would absolutely love to know. Change can happen in an instant. Absolutely. And I am in charge of my life. So I am at effect. Okay. So if you're at effect, you want to get to at cause. Let's set up the right causes to live the life that you want and have those causes turn into natural and beautiful effects. So you guys have a beautiful day. Again, DM me or send an email to Larissa at myabundanceacademy.ca if you are interested. Yes, whoops, that cause. If you're interested in obtaining my daily success habit tracker, stay tuned for more event info very soon. And also join me on Instagram, where I am doing my 40 Shades of Lipstick series. I'm going live every single week. And it is going to be a compelling conversation, a very candid conversation about something fun, something that is going on in my life. I did the first episode last week, and I will do the next one either today or tomorrow. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.